my point is that if you can just weather the storm, none of this, and so here's some context. Here's another point of reference. Okay. It was only a couple weeks ago, March 23rd, which was the 5-year anniversary of the market sell-off from COVID. Okay, exactly 5 years from March 23rd. So let's just call it 5 years ago from now. Okay. The S&P bottomed at a 34% sell-off. And we're talking about the anxiety around an 11% return. People have very quickly forgotten how much anxiety and emotion there was at a 34% sell-off in the market. Okay. That sell-off happened because the economy got shut down, period. That was it. It was a sudden, COVID's here, we're shutting the economy down, everybody's staying inside, nobody's going to school, nobody's going to restaurants, it's over. Okay, sell-off. Since then, the S&P is up nearly 200% on a total return basis. Okay, so off those lows. So you have to keep that in mind as you are digesting all of these scary headlines that you're seeing right now, and the scary headlines you're going to see at some point in the future, because they're always going to come. And as a matter of fact, I dug up some old headlines. I'll talk about them later, pass the torch here a little bit, but I did pull some headlines up from late 2022 for some context as to like what people were saying in the news back then, pre a 200% total return recovery off that low. So
yeah,
again, not Dave, a headline, but like just some facts.
So Dave, I hear your point about keeping a long-term perspective, looking out at the horizon rather down at the ground right now, as far as metaphorically what's happening at the market. I don't want to hold you guys to predictions, but I am just kind of curious if you have thoughts on, do you think the market is going to continue to be choppy for the rest of the year? Or not? Do you have any sentiment there on kind of where the short-term direction of the market may be going?
My answer is yes. It's going to be choppy.
Yeah.
It's going to be choppy until there's some sort of visibility on all of this policy consternation that's going on right now, the tariffs and everything else. There's just, until there is clarity on that, there will not be clarity in the direction of the market, which gets me back to, again, you got to weather these storms. Investors have to weather these storms.
And I think it's kind of important when we say choppy, I'll use a different word that holds the same meaning, volatile. But that doesn't mean, when people hear volatility, I think a lot of investors think that means going down. You can have upside volatility too.
Sure, that's Aaron's point of the market rallying 5%.
If tomorrow all of a sudden Liberation Day never happened and everything gets wiped clean, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see the markets kick right back into high gear. I think that gets to Dave's point too, and what we always want to talk about is that successful investing doesn't mean sidestepping or missing market declines. Exactly what Dave said. It means weathering them. It means making sure that you have a strategy, because they are going to happen and it's going to be volatile from here on out, in my opinion. It's just the administration we're in has a very difficult time of saying one thing, sticking to it. These tariffs that just went into effect, as Dave said, been talked about for months. They've been delayed for months. They went into effect for 24 hours and then were peeled back around. It's really hard to make predictions about what's going to happen. So it may seem counterintuitive because people want to think, oh, I can predict the market and I have to be in front of those market movements to really capture gains. If you're nimble and you can react, which is a lot of what I think we do here at Monument with our investment strategies, is reacting to the data, you might be in a better situation right now than trying to figure out what's going to happen, is reacting to what is happening. So I'm not the prediction guy. I'm not my favorite thing to do, but I think you can expect that volatility to both ways. It won't just be downside volatility in 2025. There'll be that upside volatility as well.